After 7 years with AEW, it looks like Max Caster's time with All Elite Wrestling may finally be coming to an end, as his contract is set to expire in October, and as of right now, it is not believed that he has re-signed. Caster is known as one half of one of AEW's most acclaimed, pardon the pun, tag team, The Acclaimed. At one point, himself and Anthony Bowens were the heart and soul of the AEW tag team division. They were the most over tag team on the roster. They had the most over gimmick on the roster. And Max Caster, believe it or not, at one point was one of the highlights of AEW Dynamite week in, week out. Yet, just a few years later now, Max Caster has been off TV for months. He has been inconsequential for even longer as far as AEW storylines go, and it's got everyone asking themselves the question, what the hell went wrong with Platinum Max Caster in AEW? And in order to answer that question, we first have to start with what got him there in the first place. When Max Caster and Anthony Bowens first started tag team wrestling, it was during the pandemic. They were a virtually thrown together tag team at that time. It was during a time where AEW Dark was giving AEW the ability to try several different things out, and The Acclaimed was an act that Tony tried out, and over time, they built up into a juggernaut of a tag team, not only in the ring, but also outside the ring. People loved the gimmick. People loved Max Caster coming out every single week, doing his best John Cena 2003 impression, but putting his own spin on it, rapping about the city he was in, rapping about current events, rapping about some things maybe he shouldn't have been rapping about, but still, it was entertaining, and for a while, it engaged the fans both in the audience and at home, and it made The Acclaim do something that you need to do in order to get over in pro wrestling, and that is endearing yourself to the audience. Once the audience feels like they know you, they love you, they respect you, it is going to be very hard for them to lose that sense of endearment and attachment they have to you. And from the scissor me daddy ass days to the days of the cringe sometimes raps, The Acclaimed felt like they were a runaway freight train that had all of the momentum in the world, capturing the tag team championships, somehow rejuvenating the career of Billy Gunn. And along the way, they went from a tag team that was looked at as, a bit of a joke to a serious contender. And what they found together as a tag team during that run was pure magic. There's no other way to put it. And it's what makes the downfall of The Acclaimed so weird, because you don't know when it happened. It just felt like gradually The Acclaimed became less and less important on AEW TV. It felt like The Acclaimed became less and less over on AEW TV, and it coincided with a time where it felt like they were just doing the same thing. As we know, the worst thing you can do in not just pro wrestling, but in life, is do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Once they saw that The Acclaimed had their popularity was waning, then AEW should have made an adjustment to the gimmick. Instead, they just slowly over time had them drift apart, and there wasn't a massive breakup angle like we've seen in the past where one star was set up for success and the other one just kind of went off and did their own thing. It was, again, very gradual, and we just one day saw Platinum Max Caster doing his gimmick where he called himself the best wrestler alive, which honestly I thought was pretty funny the first couple of times he did it. Of course, ran that into the ground too, so where does that leave us? But the point is that they didn't have the emphasis put on them during that breakup angle that I think they needed in order to move past each other. When you look at the Rockers breaking up, or Edge and Christian breaking up, or any other massive tag team breakup angle, usually that feud is what everyone is building towards. And it felt like they were at one point, but the way we got it just felt so anticlimactic, and it wasn't built up on Dynamite. It wasn't even built up really on Collision. It was just kind of these weird little spots that you missed if you looked away for more than 3 seconds. So in my view, I think that was another massive issue. And the third, and in my view, most critical issue that plagued Max Caster was there wasn't a plan for Max past the Raps. And I don't want to make this a Max Caster's gimmick sucked and it was never over and it never really felt like he was going to break through. There was a time where Max Caster felt like he had some of the best charisma in the entire company. That is just point blank period true. But it never advanced. His character never advanced, and neither did his ability. He just kept on coming out, doing the same cheesy stuff every week. And as we've seen in wrestling across the world, when you do the same damn thing over and over again, eventually people are going to get bored. And you combine this with the fact that Max Caster, just quite frankly, is not a great wrestler. He's not a bad one by any means, but he's not great. In a company like AEW that actively rewards the ability to have great matches and to tell those stories in the ring, when you don't have that ability at a high level and your ability to cut promos is waning and you don't really click with the audience, at a certain point, you have to ask this question: what is there for you to do on the show? And I think that is the biggest piece of the puzzle now. There is no use for Max Caster on AEW TV, and therefore I just don't believe that he is going to stay. I think Max has the charisma that a WWE would look for, but then you also have the issue of how are they going to package his innate, raw, and very controversial and uncensored charisma into a WWE package? Because it is not going to be the same as we saw in AEW. He's not going to be doing jokes about Vince McMahon. He's not going to be doing jokes about Donald Trump. He's not going to be doing jokes about Joe Biden. How do you make this WWE friendly? That's the road we have ahead of us. That's the road that Max Caster certainly probably has ahead of him. Or maybe he gets a call from Tony, they get their contract straightened out, and he stays with AEW. That one, I think, is a little less likely, but in the end, I guess we'll see. Hey there, if you like this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up and subscribe for more videos from WrestleVibes.